Chief has hailed G20 Presidency of India. IMF Chief Geeta Gopinath hails G20 Presidency. She says that congratulations to India on a successful G20 Presidency. Its theme of One Earth, One Family, One Future resonated with the global leaders who reached an important consensus on ways to address the global challenges confronting us. So that's the big breaking news coming in. Let's listen into what exactly did Geeta Gopinath say.
One Earth, One Family, One Future. Under this motto, the Indian presidency of G20 united all to address the global challenges in front of us. Climate change and how more financing can go to emerging markets and developing economies, more private sector engagement to come to bear. Debt sustainability, with debt levels going so high, India, together with us, the IMF and the World Bank, created the Global Sovereign Debt Roundtable, bringing traditional new creditors, private sector, and the debtor countries to find solutions for faster resolution of debt problems.
So you heard Managing Director of IMF, Christina, saying and talking about the theme this year and how we were successful in achieving and resonating the theme with the global leaders who reached on a very important consensus on the ways to address the global challenges confronting the world leaders. I have CNN News 18's Abhishek Jha joining me on the phone line. Abhishek, could you give us more details about what exactly did she say there and how exactly did the theme this year was successful in resonating with all the world leaders?
So we just heard IMF Chief Christina and the way she was kind of hailing India's presidency. We know that since the last few weeks it has been talked about that having a common declaration would be really difficult because of the differing sides, G7 grouping, Russia-China axis. But at the end of the day, it looked like Indian presidency did manage well, and they were able to brought together every party with difference and clear and the mandate of G20 to have a common declaration was achieved. Also, what was great that the financial inclusion of smaller countries was also discussed. Financing for their projects, their developmental projects, energy transition, food security was discussed. We know that apart, in the club of G20 countries, the countries do have issues with rising fuel prices and food prices, but they can afford to pay higher prices for such commodities. But countries like several smaller island nations in Indo-Pacific or African Union who do not have enough means to afford the rising prices of fuel or shortage of food, they have real issues with such global scenario or geopolitical scenario which have real impact on the geoeconomics or the overall supply chain of essential commodities. So in that way, it is really important that G20 did discuss about that. They discussed about the debt restructuring of smaller countries and how the inclusivity can be brought in to the mainstream of overall prospects. When we talk about the prosperity of the world, then the smaller countries should not be left behind. In fact, this is what was said, that no one was left behind was the motto, and every aspect, all the paras, all the important aspect that the Delhi Declaration had, did discuss and did have inputs from all the participating member countries, and all the smaller countries also had a chance to have their input on important aspects that the G20 was discussing. So clearly, smaller countries had a better chance to express their opinion, to talk about their challenges, their concern, and how an elite club should discuss them and come forward to address those issues that really impact their day-to-day life. So in that way, it has been a great achievement. And what IMF Chief was saying was clearly in line with what Indian presidency tried to achieve, with having become a voice of global South, trying to ensure that the voice of smaller countries are put in the right place in the joint declaration, and their concerns, their challenges are addressed through the platform.
Right, Abhishek. Abhishek, since we are talking about International Monetary Fund, and this year was altogether very important for the cryptocurrency as the matter was there on the table as well. How exactly is the cryptocurrency assets will be regulated after this G20 summit?
So exactly to say that the regulation has been brought in at G20 forum, that would not be right to say, but to have this thing that the G20 did acknowledge the presence of cryptocurrency and they did talk about it is a great thing, because the overall cryptocurrency ecosystem has developed in the last few years. Several governments, some smaller countries have recognized this currency. Major economies around the world are still hesitant in having, full recognition of these cryptocurrencies and letting it be part of mainstream economic channel or transaction medium. But having understood the fact that crypto could be a future thing, and overall economic scenario maybe have cryptocurrency as essential part of their transaction mechanism, is something that G20 agreed upon, and they did discuss about cryptocurrency. They also discussed about the other aspect of digital economy. Of course, India has been able to tell the world how digital economy has been a very smooth operation in India, and how India has tried to achieve a digital economy where a payment transaction from rupees 10 to rupees tens of thousands could be transacted just by a click of mobile app. So this is something that the world was really interested. India's innovation in fintech sector, something that was also showcased at the G20 summit level talk. Some of the kiosks were created to explain how this overall digital economy or digital transaction is happening in India. In that sense, it is really important that the world has acknowledged the latest innovations in the last decades, if you could say, including digital economy, cryptocurrency, and other modes of digital payment systems that the world needs to gradually shift upon.
Well, Abhishek, thank you so much for breaking that down for our viewers.